Welcome to the Service Industry Podcast. I've spent the last decade as a CEO, operator, and business builder selling tens of millions of dollars in products and services. I, just like many of you, started with nothing. My mission for this podcast is to help you become the greatest version of yourself, help you grow and scale your business, and create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm your host, Matt Smith. Enjoy the episode. What is going on, everybody? Matt here from the Service Industry Podcast. Hope you guys have been doing well. We are in the heat of the spring, entering into summer season here soon. So if you're not busy, this is a perfect episode for you because we're going to be talking about why you do not have enough leads inside of your business. And this isn't something to feel bad about. Honestly, the good news is it's something that's extremely fixable. However, it does take effort. And the thing that we're going to talk today about is that exactly how to get more leads inside of your business consistently. Because at the end of the day, a home service business without a consistent lead source is a dead home service business after a not very long period of time. And so this is obviously one of the biggest complaints I see when I'm doing coaching is people are like, I just don't have enough leads. Cool, let's talk about it. Very solvable problem. Okay, before we dive in, as always, you guys know I own ServiceIndustryCoach.com. So if you need any marketing help, you want to do one-on-one coaching with me, print marketing, direct mail, door hangers, business cards. If you need website design, we are your one-stop marketing shop for home service companies, ServiceIndustryCoach.com, or you can just click the link in the show notes. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group, 100% free, go do it. I want you to be there. We've got almost 300 business owners in there now. It's pretty cool. And so go join, be a part of it, engage, post stuff, ask questions, and we'd love to have you. All right, sweet. So let's dive in. So basically, in this episode, I want to tell you guys first, my goal ideally is to try and break the way that you've been thinking about marketing your business, okay? Because long story short is this is what I hear from a lot of people. Matt, we tried ads, but they didn't work. We ran Facebook ads, for a couple weeks and we didn't get any leads from them. Facebook's just never worked for us, right? Yeah, we did the Google thing, but Google didn't produce us any leads. We put door hangers out before. We didn't get any calls off them. Okay. And the one thing that I've learned, I've been working with home service business guys and gals like yourself for the last 6 or 7 years. And I've coached well over 100 people in the home service business space, almost in every single niche you can think of, in every state that you can think of, all the way from, Maine to Hawaii. And the biggest thing that I noticed that most people are doing wrong is what I call the shotgun versus sniper approach. Okay. And the shotgun approach is very simple. It's random, inconsistent marketing across too many channels. Okay. I was on a coaching call this morning with Kyle, and Kyle's in the group. He owns a roofing business. And we were talking about this a little bit where, he said something along the lines of like, you just simplify things and make them so easy. And my response was, it's not even that I make them easy. It's just, it is easy because you just have to create a very specific plan. So like the biggest problem why people don't have leads coming into their business is because they are running around with the shotgun approach. They're doing 300 door hangers here, and they're running Facebook ads for 4 days, and then they turn them off because they didn't get a call. And then they're spending $500 a month on Google, and then they might go to one Chamber of Commerce event, and they didn't get any jobs from it, so they never go back. And they're doing all of these things, and although they're quote unquote busy, they're not getting any reward from it. Where the sniper approach is a more dialed in strategy. It's repetition, it's targeted messaging, targeted marketing with measurable action. Okay. Consistency over time in less channels of marketing. And so what we were talking about this morning, I said, it's not about how much you do, it's how much you do inside of a single marketing source and how consistently you do it. And so let me just break your beliefs a little bit. The shotgun approach makes people feel busy. It makes them feel like they're doing a lot inside of their business, but they're actually not doing anything because it's impossible to get traction doing a lot of different things very inconsistently for a short period of time. And not only is that the case, but most business owners in general underestimate the sheer volume required in order to get any kind of traction to get a marketing source to work. And I told Kyle this morning, I said, every marketing source works to some degree, right? Now, some are obviously better. Google Ads is going to have a higher intent buyer than Facebook ads, no doubt. Why? Because people are going to Google to search for your service rather than you putting an ad in front of them on Facebook, hoping it catches their attention and entices them to buy. So a much higher intent buyer. So I would argue that Google is a better marketing source. However, they both work. Now, the problem why people say they don't work is because they don't do any of them for a long enough period of time. And marketing's a lot like going to the gym, okay? If we want to draw up a comparison here. You don't get in shape from going to the gym and doing one super intense workout. You get in shape by going to the gym 4, 5, 6 days a week and doing workouts continuously, okay? The same is true with marketing. You don't get busy inside of your business by going ham and putting out 300, 400 door hangers in one day. You get busy by doing 2,500 door hangers every 30 days to the same neighborhoods over and over, right? Which breaks down to, let's say, 50 door hangers a day instead of 300 once. So the guy that's doing 50 door hangers a day 5 days a week versus the guy that's doing 300 door hangers in a day but doesn't do it for the rest of the month is going to have massively different results, okay? Just as if you go to the gym on Monday and you work out for 4 hours straight, and I go to the gym Monday through Friday and I work out for 30 minutes every day, and I'm working on different parts of my body, I am going to look better than you 30 days from now, okay? It's just how it works. The more consistent you are, the more trust that you're going to build. And this is another huge one that people don't understand. You have to wake up every day and tell yourself, nobody knows my business exists. And the reason we fall into this trap of believing that everybody knows that our company exists is because we are sleeping and breathing our businesses all day, every day. But the reality is the average consumer is not. And so, you might think that you can go put door hangers on their door once and that they should just call you for the next 6 months if they need a new roof or they need their lawns cut or they want their windows cleaned or whatever it is you do. But the reality is the first time you put the door hanger on the front door, they're going to grab it. They're likely going to look at it for 6 seconds and they're going to throw it in the trash. You're like, well, Matt, that doesn't seem like a good marketing source. Well, do you understand why they threw it in the trash? Because they've never seen you before. There's no trust there. The likelihood of them calling is very unlikely. And so the only way to get marketing to work is to do it so many times to the same homeowner over and over that you build trust with the consumer because they begin seeing you all of the time. Okay? So the number one thing that you have to understand is that consumers build trust by seeing you show up on a repeatedly basis. Okay, you have to repeat your actions over and over and over. The second thing is you will have to do way more volume than you are expecting you're going to have to do in order to build momentum. You guys have probably heard me say this before, and if you follow Alex Hormozi, maybe you've even heard him say this in his videos, but he breaks down this example of when he owned a gym. He really looked up to this guy who essentially had a similar business, and the guy's way he was acquiring customers was going and putting door hangers out, postcards out basically on people's front doors. And Alex is like, all right, I'm going to try it. He goes out, and I can't remember the exact number, but he put out like 300 or 500 of them. And he comes back to the guy, he's like, hey, it doesn't work. The guy's like, well, how many did you do? He's like, out like 300. And the guy laughed at him. He's like, my test size is 5,000. And then from there, I'm doing like 50,000 a month. And that's when it all basically opened up Alex's head, is like, oh my gosh, I'm severely underestimating how much volume it's going to take in order to get the results this guy is getting. And many people in the home service business space do the exact same thing. They're like, oh, well, Matt talks about putting out, sending direct mail, and then they order 1,000 of them and they do it once. And then they go, well, I got one call. It's like, wow, you got one call on your first one? Like, congrats. You know what I mean? But the guys that are printing direct mail through me continuously every 30 days, I've got guys that have been putting in orders every 30 days for the last 5 years with us, doing 10,000 direct mail pieces every 30 days. And the reason is because they went with the advice that I gave them, which was, hey, I want you to do the same neighborhoods every 30 days for as long as humanly possible, forever. And guess what? Shocker, shocker. They're the ones that get the best results out of all of our customers. Why? Because they're the most consistent. Now you're like, well, Matt, I can't afford 10,000. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because this is what I would say next to you. When you're setting up a plan to get more leads, to get more customers, and I told this to Kyle this morning, I want you to create a marketing plan that is obtainable. Okay? I don't want you to create something that's going to stretch you so far that if you fall behind, you quit. And so, let's just say, well, Matt, I want to spend, $300 a month on Facebook ads, and we have a plan to do that. I want to get 1,000 door hangers out every 30 days to the same houses, and I want to do one or two other things. That would be something I would consider very conservative as far as a marketing plan. However, I would rather you do that than say, I'm going to do 5,000 door hangers a month. We're going to spend $1,000 on Facebook. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then you don't follow through. And so the guy with the simplest marketing plan, even if it is less volume, as long as they are consistent, they will see the longer term result they're looking for, versus the guy who is trying to do more volume up front, gets burnt out, and quits. Okay? There's nothing wrong with starting small. So you hear me say like, well, the guy who sent 1,000 postcards, it's not me hating on that guy. As long as he's doing it every 30 days consistently, he's going to get way better results than the guy who sent 5,000 postcards once. Okay? So I want you guys to understand that to start. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to reverse engineer your numbers. Okay? What's your revenue goal? Do you guys have your revenue goal? Have you broken that revenue goal, which is a yearly goal, down by month? Okay, you've heard me talk about this on past podcasts. Like, how do we even know if we're on track? How many jobs do we need? What's your close rate? How many leads do you require in order to get to the job number you need to get? So let me give you an example. I'm going to do basic math here because I'm semi-autistic with math. Let's say in order to hit your revenue goal, and this is obviously just a random number, you need to close 10 jobs a month, okay? Now, for a lot of you, that's very light. For some of you brand new guys, you might be thrilled. But just for even numbers, you need 10 jobs a month to hit your revenue goal, because you have an average, let's just say an average ticket of $1,000. That's $10,000 a month in revenue. Great. Well, you're going to have to get more than 10 leads in order to get 10 jobs, right? So what's your close rate when going out and quoting? Let's just say it's 50% for even numbers. Okay, so we know that for every 10 leads we go on, we close 5. So if that's the case, then we actually need 20 leads in order to get 10 jobs. So now we have to find marketing sources that can produce 20 leads a month for us, and then we can just reverse engineer the numbers. And so this is how we do it to make it really simple. We build out a marketing plan that's basic. We're picking 2 to 3 core lead sources that you can commit to on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis that target the same houses every 30 days. It's that simple, okay? 2 or 3. And then what you're going to do, and this is what happens, when you start doing this stuff consistently, even when you start small, you're going to feel momentum start to build 30, 60, 90 days in. And you're going to be like, oh gosh, like I'm getting busy. And then you can start to scale those things up. And then let's just say a lot of them are boots in the ground stuff right now because maybe you don't have a lot of money. Well, when we start reinvesting our profits back into the business, we might go from doing 2,500 door hangers a month to 2,500 door hangers plus 2,500 postcards, right? And then we might scale up to 5,000 postcards and stop doing door hangers altogether because now we can afford to mail everything versus doing it on foot. And this is how it grows over time. Creating simple habits create consistency, okay? And consistency in marketing is everything. And so I want you guys to understand this because it is not a rocket science formula that's going to get you more leads. It's a basic, consistent, boring marketing plan that you wake up and you execute on every single day. I like this. Discipline over dopamine. Okay, I wrote this down. Discipline over dopamine. Okay, many business owners are chasing the dopamine hit versus the discipline, okay? Because they want the quick win. They want the easy lead. And here's the reality is like winning, repetitive, long-term, consistent winning is boring. It is. Discipline means showing up and doing the same thing over and over and over and over. And business owners get bored of this because we're entrepreneurs. We want to be doing new things all the time. We got big vision. We're in a hurry and blah, blah, blah. And we chase the dopamine hit. We do a little bit of everything because it triggers that little dopamine trigger in our brain that gets us riled up. But then at the end of the night, when we put our head down on the pillow, we're slow. We're stressed out. We don't know why we don't have more leads. It's because you chose dopamine over discipline, okay? Here's something that I've learned over the last decade. Top performers, top entrepreneurs, top salespeople, just top performers in general, they do not need motivation. They need a plan, and then they just execute, okay? Now, people need accountability. All of us need accountability because here's the thing that you don't see, and this is like the unfortunate thing about the internet nowadays, is we get to see everybody's highlight reel, right? Like I could sit on this podcast and record hundreds of episodes and basically share all the good things that go on in my business and life. But that wouldn't be fully truthful because I have a lot of fires that happen as well. And so does everybody. And so we watch these people on the internet who look like they're crushing it, and maybe they are, but they're only sharing their highlight reel, okay? They don't share what's actually going on behind the scenes. And so even these quote unquote top performers who are disciplined, who don't need motivation, and who do execute on a consistent basis still struggle to do so. So don't think there's something wrong with you for feeling the struggle of not wanting to do something. That's very normal. The only difference is the top performers choose to do it anyway. Okay? So just to recap and make this as simple as humanly possible, you don't have enough leads because you are either not doing enough volume, or you're not doing anything, or you have a shotgun approach rather than a sniper approach, meaning you're doing too many of too many different things in too small of quantities and not consistently enough. So if you get anything from this episode, you stop today and you say, I'm picking 2 or 3 core lead sources, and for the next 90 days, I'm going to target the same houses, doing the same 2 or 3 things, and I'm going to do it consistently. Even if it's not at a massive volume, the goal is consistency. And then once we have proven to ourselves that we can be consistent, we will increase the volume because volume is required in order to win at a large scale. If we want to go from doing 10 jobs a month to 50 jobs a month, as long as we have a proven marketing method, the only thing stopping you is more volume. I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions, my email's always in the show notes, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. As always, if you need any help marketing your business or want to work with me directly doing one-on-one coaching, visit serviceindustrycoach.com. We'll see you on the next episode.